Long ago, about 1.5 years ago, back in August 2022, I started work on my first game, which I only published a year after. That game was Squared. I got my friends to play it, and they really enjoyed it. And so, I decided to make a sequel, Squared 2. I first started work on the game by just making a simple player character, which is just a white square with eyes. I then made a simple player movement script where the player just moved left and right and I was able to jump, and it actually turned out pretty well. I then made a quick simple sample scene and gave the player the ability to do double jumps and wall jumping, and the movement felt much smoother and felt way nicer, and I really enjoyed making these implementations. After that, I gave the player the ability to dash, and this made movement much more advanced and much more interesting. I then made a simple camera follow, which makes the camera follow the player at all times. I then implemented coyote time and jump buffering, as shown here, where coyote time works by when the player leaves the platform but is still given a small amount of time to jump after, and jump buffering works by taking your input a few seconds before you actually hit the ground to give you the jump. I then made some pixel art for a red spike, which will be used as an obstacle in the game. And here it is in game. When the player touches it, they quickly die and respawn. And I just made it with some quick code that I just saw from a tutorial somewhere on YouTube. Over here is level 1 of the game. I didn't record it, but I made some art for the platform and walls. Level 1 acts as a simple level where the player just learns that red spikes kill you, wall jumping is possible, and that dashing is a thing. This seems to be a pretty good level for a starting level. Over here, I started work on making pixel art for a red saw, which I wanted as my moving obstacle in the game. It took me loads of time trying to figure out how to make a saw in a 16x16 format. And when I mean a long time, I really mean a really long time. It is really annoying and really annoying indeed. But honestly, it turned out pretty well, and all that work paid off. Here is how it looks in game in level 2, which I made right after making the art of the saw. And level 2 just introduces the functionality of the saw going left and right. Here is a process of me working on the level design of level 3. I wanted the level to teach the player that red saws can also move up and down. I wanted the level to be at just the right difficulty, and I think I kinda achieved that. An extra thing which I added was a skip near the start of the level, which could give players a difficult jump dash to reach the endpoint faster. I tried putting different skips in some levels to make the game speedrunnable, as I did the same in the original Square. Right after, I just got bored, so I wanted to make an endpoint. So I just made some pixel art for it, asked my friends about it, and then just decided, and then here it is. As you can see, I placed endpoints at the end of each level. When the player touches the endpoint, the player is sent to the next level. I plan to make transitions between each level to make it look much smoother and better. After that, I made level 4, which introduces a new mechanic for the saw, where the saw is able to move in different directions rather than moving horizontally or vertically. As you can see, here it is. Level 5 was next, and it introduces bounce pads which bounce the player higher when the player jumps onto it. I coded it in such a way that I could control how high you can be bounced by the bounce pad, and this helps me make better level design. Over here is me working on the art for the one-way platform. I just decided to make it white as I really had no idea what else to make of it. And here it is in level 6, where I introduce the one-way platform. The player can jump onto it from below and drop down from it by simply pressing the S key. I then made more art. Here, I made the ice platform art. Here it is in level 8. When the player is on ice, their movements are much sleepier. Players can gain speed from sliding on ice, and this can change their jump distance as well. Dashing also causes the player to accelerate even faster while on ice. After that, I started making art for the sticky platform. And this is how it looks like when I import it. In level 9, sticky platforms and walls are introduced. They are essentially the opposite of ice, where when the player is on them, the player is slowed down and even their first jump while on them is reduced. Dashing is also quite meaningless on the sticky platform. The players are also able to jump upwards while on a sticky wall. I then made art for some falling platforms. I made them dark pink as that was the same color of the falling platforms back in the original square. Over here, I present level 10, where basically 1/5 of the way through the main levels planned to be made. Anyways, this level introduces the previously mentioned falling platforms, and the player is shown that each platform can vary in the delay to fall. The player can also learn that he can jump up onto it from below. Now here is a subsequent level, level 11, and it introduces the other form of the falling platform, which is the falling wall. This acts the same as the falling platform, but instead of being a platform, it's, well, as the name implies, a wall. We're finally at the last art part for this video, and in this part, I quickly made a moving platform which was blue, just like its counterpart in the original square. To end off the level design part as well, here is level 13, and this level introduces the moving platforms. This level shows the player that the moving platforms can move up and down, left and right, and can have many move points. It also shows the player that each moving platform has a different movement speed and wait time at each move point. And that's it for this devlog. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like and sub, and even check out the games I've made in my HIO page. There's a link for it below in the description. Anyways, goodbye and have a great day.